we doing? It's working? Working. Left shoulder. It's a little sore. Unfortunately, that's where my drink is, so I have to lift the glass with an arm that doesn't want to lift it. Ooh. Despite what I said, I didn't take Tylenol before I did the second round of the COVID vaccine. This is Moderna, second shot. I did not take a Tylenol yet. I will take one probably not too far out into the future. I just want to see where we go from here. Oh. Yeah. Let's see. It's a little timeline's a little different than last time. Last time I would say I got the shot at 1:30. Fingertips are super cold on my hot arm. Oh. Okay. I got the shot 1:30 in the afternoon on May 6th. And that one, I got woozy after the shot, but it passed after a little while. I did it on an empty stomach, so that's partly on my fault. And then got up here, spent most of the evening without any problems, and about 12 hours after the first shot, I started uncontrollably shivering. And that was that was something that lasted about an hour and a half. Gradually, I hit the 30-hour mark. I'm like, I'm not playing this game anymore. So I took a Tylenol and went to bed the second night. And for the most part, I was mostly recovered. I had a little bit of a headache the next day. Not like a headache, just sort of like that groggy kind of unhappiness in my head. This time, we are about 12 hours in. I had my shivering fit probably about an hour and a half ago. I get a little bit of it right now when I get up to go somewhere like the bathroom or the kitchen to get another glass of water or something. But for the most part, the shivering fit came earlier, lasted shorter, and I just took my temperature before popping on here tonight, and my temperature is 101.5. So I do, in fact, have a fever. 101.5. It's not a big fever yet. I'm curious to see where it goes in the next few hours. But if it gets to the point where I'm just really beat to hell, I'm going to take a Tylenol regardless. Because I do feel like the last time the fever spiked hard. And I would wager I get up into the 102, 103 range. I'm not super excited to hit that, but I'm curious to see if it'll keep climbing or if it's just sort of plateaued where it is now. But it's a ride. It's a ride that I should be over with by now. So when I recover from this, no more COVID vaccine. Hopefully. There have been some people out there talking about booster shots every year. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not up for this every year. I will erect a space pod. I will build a bubble house. Whatever I need to do. I'm not doing this each year. This is stupid. It shouldn't be this bad on a regular basis. But whew. Yeah, I hope the video's not too bad tonight. I do know my computer's been struggling with everything I've been doing with it lately. Been doing a lot on it. Ooh. It's very hot. Like, I don't have very many fevers. My body doesn't do that very often. But maybe I do. Maybe for me a fever is lower than this cuz I mean, I have usually my temperature measure is about a 98.5 in that range. And I feel like sometimes I feel crummy if my temperature gets above 99.4. So this is higher than that by a big margin. But and that's actually, that reminds me, the other night when we were doing the video and I had to use the bathroom, like after we finished that video, I went right back into that bathroom multiple times that night. And I ended up with such bad digestive pain. And I was sprawled out on bed, rocking back and forth for a couple hours in pain, trying to rub away at my stomach to see if I could massage out the pain. And at one point, there was just this horrendous gurgle, and it let up for a little bit. And I think somewhere in that point, either it rebuilt and I passed out from the pain, or I managed to nod off for a minute before my usual bedtime. And I woke up again. I had some truly weird dreams, which I would normally equate to being fever dreams. So that was the other night before I even got the COVID shot. But yeah, I don't know what did that. Like I didn't eat anything during that day that I haven't eaten multiple times before that seemed to work before. But that was a miserably painful night. I woke up the next morning not in pain anymore, and I was so relieved. And I know my system had emptied itself out the night before. I don't know if that's too much information for you, but um, I was empty when I fell asleep that night, and I woke up like 9, 10 hours later, and I couldn't get to the point where I wanted to eat anything just because I was just like, my system's so angry. So that's the nature of my illness. That'll just hit you at any moment. So I'm curious to see if it'll tolerate this course again. But yeah, I am tired. I am still a little shaky. I am. I'm not cold. That's the thing that's sort of interesting. I don't know. I couldn't tell you right now if you asked me what temperature the room is. I haven't the foggiest idea. I do feel like I could probably use a blanket, but I would wager that we're probably somewhere in the high 60s, mid 70s where we are right now. So it's too warm to really do a blanket, but my body's telling me my skin temperature is hotter than the room, so the room feels chilly. Oh man. Oh. And today was a pretty aggressive allergy day, I think. I don't know that I've ever had allergies before, but I'm seriously starting to suspect that I have them this year. And annoyingly, um, one of the things I may be allergic to is my mom's dog, which has ridden in the car that I've gotten to replace my other car multiple times over the years. So there's some of that dog ground into the interior of that car. And I'm worried that I might be allergic to my new car. That won't be a good time. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to scrub it clean, get it out as much as possible so it's not getting at me again. And then see if we can just settle into do. Oh man, this arm really doesn't want to be up like that. See if we can just settle into trying to get things back on track. Like right now, this month is solo by solstice, which means by the summer solstice, I need to get a game made. I've decided it's probably going to be a board game this year because that's what I got time for. But I haven't quite figured out what game I'm going to make yet. And for me, the desire is to make something that has a solo play option. And so that's going to be key to figuring it out. Like I thought about doing like a cute sort of role-playing game style game. But they usually require a dungeon master and a player at the minimum. You can do some alternatives where they're single player without a dungeon master. But they tend to have special requirements to make that happen. I'm not sure that's going to work right away. I could put a little time into looking into it and we'll figure it out. The other thing is, if I do end up doing it that way, it's probably going to end up being more like a choose your own adventure book with an interactive board and pieces that has the option of extended play to be multiplayer play. But I'm wondering if I want to still use mechanisms that make it so it doesn't require a dungeon master. I don't know. I'll figure it out, I think. But I'm curious to play with that. There's also the option of the Craigslist knockoff game. The Craigslist story of life, or whatever we want to call it. That game is an option. I don't know that it has. Well, it might be possible to convert it to a single player option. It would be sort of like a game of solitaire, where the goal of solitaire is to build the rows of cards in order. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad idea, actually. So a solitaire version that converts to competitive play is an option for that. And I could come up with something completely original between now and the end of the month to try to do anyway. So I'll see what I can come up with. I also have to keep in mind that July is supposed to be Independent Film Month. And so at the time of the summer solstice, I will probably start the process of planning out what I'm going to do for that. I've also reached out to some online game creator communities and offered the idea if they want to participate in doing this solo game by solstice time, that we could potentially exchange games at the end as print on play games and talk about the good opportunity anymore. But I'm not feeling like I'm missing out. Anything that feels like it's like, ooh, you have this small window to make your choice and jump on this opportunity while it's here, like that high pressure emergency opportunity, that is not a stable risk factor. I mean, maybe if things seem like they're settled into a regular pattern again and not doing any massive volatility, I might put a little something in there and just wait a year to see what it does. But I don't think I'm going to jump on that heavy core. But I think it's dropping signal here. I can't tell what it's doing anymore. There we go. It froze at 16 minutes and 8 seconds. There we go. Now the ticker's ticking again. And now it's frozen again. So, wow, it's really doing weird stuff. So I may call this quick one here tonight because I don't think the system's up to it. The system's straining to keep up with playing the video. Hopefully I'm not dropping a lot of stuff here. But anyway, one of the other things I've been looking at probably doing is looking into stuff like low content publishing through Kindle, or well, I guess it's not Kindle, it's Amazon printing. So a lot of things you see out there that people do some of that stuff. I may explore some of those options just as something to get going and play with and see what kind of things happen with that. But we are approaching 20 minutes, and I think for the type of day I'm in the midst of, that's probably good enough. I'm probably going to call it for here. So, yeah, I don't know if it's lost a lot of data from skipping or what. For now, I hope you're doing all right. Take care. Have a good night. I will catch you later, probably in a position to better put up videos where it won't freak out like this. I've just got too much going on this one for it to be able to process it all, I think. So I will catch you later, alligator, I guess.